friends, it's Deanna here today, and today we're going to be working with a knit pattern to turn it into a woven pattern. Have you ever wondered if you could make a knit dress with woven fabric? Well, yes you can, and I'm going to show you how you can do it. Today I'm using the Staycation pattern by Ellie and Mac, and I'm going to use non-stretch fabrics to create this dress right here by adding a zipper to the back. So stick around and let's sew it together. All right, friends, so I am a size medium. I printed a size large and extra large just because I'm not sure if I want to go up one size or two sizes, due to the fact that when I usually sew up, the staycation is done with a knit pattern, which means that it usually has a negative ease. So it comes in at the body. I don't want, because the fabric I'm using, obviously a woven fabric, doesn't have stretch, really. It has a little bit, but not really. If this ends up having a negative ease, is going to be too tight and constricting around my body. So I know that I want to size up. I'm not sure if I want to size up 1 or 2. So what I'm doing for myself is I printed 2 sizes. So I'm going to cut out the larger size, 2 sizes up, and then I'm going to try it on. I'm going to baste it on. I'm going to baste the bodice and everything and just try on the bodice, because that's the most important part. If the bodice fits, then the skirt, because it's a gathered skirt, should be fine. So I want to go ahead and cut out the bodice first and try it on. Now, if it's a little too big, then I'm going to go ahead and trim down to the large size and use that size for my bodice. So that first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it out on the 2 sizes bigger than my size that I fit into for the knit version. And we're going to try it on and see how it goes. Now, another thing that I'm doing differently is that for my back, in the front, I'm going to cut on the fold, just like it usually goes. For the back, I'm going to cut mirrored, because I'm going to add that zipper going on the back, which is going to make it easy to put on and off. Now, you can also just add a placket, but that means that the waist has to be wide enough to fit over your hips and stuff like that. So I'm going to add a zipper that goes all the way down. I'm hoping to add a zipper. I have a 22-inch zipper, which 22 inches would go all the way, kind of a few inches down lower. So I want a zipper that goes past my waistline and onto my skirt, so I can open and step in and zip all the way up. So that's what I'm doing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the front on fold, and the back I'm going to cut mirrored, and I'm going to add a 1/2 inch for seam allowance for attaching my zipper. And I might not need that seam allowance if this is big enough, but I'm just going to add it just because I want to be extra cautious. You can always take away, but you cannot add. When you can, but it will look color blocked. So I would rather take away if I need to. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that out, and then we'll come back to sew it all together. I'm using a very lightweight woven. This one I got from Millie Mae Fabrics online. It is so pretty. I am super excited to sew it up. I've been wanting to do this hack for a long time, but I wasn't sure. I was kind of like, is this gonna work? Is it not gonna work? And you know what? I always say, you just don't know until you jump in and do it. And I am going to be doing more than I usually do. I'm going to be trying it on first before I put on the zipper, because that's probably going to be one of the, like, scariest parts, even though it shouldn't be too scary. But I am going to try it on. I'm sorry, that was a dull rotary cutter. I'm going to try it on before I continue, so it should be hopefully a success. We'll see. Oh, this is actually my front bodice because I'm cutting it on the fold. So I'm going to actually do the scoop version. Yeah, we're going to do the scoop version. So since this is the front, I'm going to cut out this little scoop here. I just fold it. For the neckline, I'm going to actually use probably binding, and put binding at the neckline to finish off. I grabbed the dull rotary cutter again. Now for the back, like I said, I'm gonna cut 2 pieces mirrored. So I folded my fabric in half and I got 2 pieces, And I'm gonna leave a little bit of a seam allowance here for when I attach my zipper. One thing I'm not sure about is if I'm gonna need to do a dart at the bust. I'm gonna try it on and see what it looks like here. Like, I'm gonna baste it together and see what it looks like, and then decide what I wanna do next. And if I do feel like I need to do a bust dart, then I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna do that. And I'm gonna try to figure out if I need to or not. Most of the time when you're doing a woven dress, you do end up having a bust dart on the front of your front bodice, because of the fact that you want this to be wider here, but you don't want it to be like huge here. So you end up taking off a little bit here, and that gives you a little bit of shape. Since the knit fabric would stretch over your bust, the woven doesn't. So you end up taking away from the side to give you that extra here. So we're gonna go ahead and work on it and see what we gotta do. All right, so here's my front bodice, here's my back bodice. And well, first of all, before I do anything, I'm going to want to serge the raw edges. So the raw edge of the back, I'm going to want to serge that because I want to finish off so it doesn't fray on me when I'm sewing it. But because this is going to be just a trial version, I'm just going to try it on. I'm going to literally just baste the shoulders of the front and back, right sides together, and then my sides. I'm going to go to my sewing machine and I'm going to do just a long basting stitch on my sewing machine, and then I'm going to try it on because I want to see how it fits. Like I said, I'm not sure about the fit because this is a knit pattern and I'm doing woven, and I went up 2 sizes. Usually 1 to 2 sizes is what you should be doing. So we want to see, especially also because this staycation dress already has some, it's a little bit looser fitting. It's not a very tight dress. So it does have some wiggle room in there. So maybe I don't need as much room. So we're going to go ahead and baste everything together. I may go ahead and baste the back closed. And the reason why I'm doing that is because I'm just going to slip it on really carefully. And then you'll show me what it'll look like once it's sewn, once I have my zipper on. And because it does have a low neckline, I might just, you know what, I'm going to baste I'm going to baste the backs together, starting like right here down the middle. So it can, this front whole top can open like this, and I can try it on, and then I just tap it, like put a clip back here at the top to see how it fits. So I'm going to go my sewing machine, do a basting stitch. I'm not going to show you that. I'm just going to do it really quickly, and then I'm going to show you how it fits. So here it is. I'm going to show you how it fits, and then we'll talk about what I need to do. If I need to make it smaller, if I just need to do a dart, whatever. And the reason why I'm showing you all this is because I want you to learn how you can do this on yourself on any pattern, not just the staycation pattern, but any pattern. I want you to be able to do these things. So I want to talk you through all the steps and how I think about it. That way, when you're doing it, you can see, you know why I did it a certain way. And then it's easier for you then to do yours. And I hope this is helpful. I really do. Alrighty, friends, I've put it on, and there's a few things I've noticed. It is pretty big here at the armpit and underneath area. I do have a lot of loose space here, and as well as I do have some extra space here. So I think I am going to trim it down to the 1 size up. So I usually fit a medium, which is still a little bit loose, and then I'm going to go up to a large. Now I am the middle size medium. I am a large on my hips, but on my top, I could wear a small to medium size. So I still, if you were going to do this, I think I still would go up 2 sizes if you're kind of in the line, and just try it on first. Another thing that I noticed is if you do want to just do a placket, because I just closed that placket off, it went on so easily because of it having a, because I'm doing this dropped scooped neckline, I had plenty of room to get it on and off. So if you wanted to do just a placket, you can go check out the tutorial on how I did a placket on the Diana pattern that I did a hack on for the bodysuit, not bodysuit, the romper. But I think I am going to add a zipper just to give you another dimension of how to add a zipper so you can have that. But anyway, so I think I am going to go ahead and take it down to the large because I have plenty of room here. And hopefully that will work. I don't know that I'm going to go with darts, mostly because this fabric is very loose and I think it's going to be okay once I add the sleeves and everything. We'll see. Usually you do darts for wovens, but this is a very loose fitting top, so I think it should be fine. We'll see. Let's keep going. All right, I have cut out the smaller size. Now what I want to do is the same thing I just did, but now we're going to actually do it correctly, which is grabbing the front and the back, and I'm going to match up the shoulder seams here at the top. And then on the other side. All right, and then also the side seams, because I'm going to do the sleeve as an inset sleeve, which is how you want to do your sleeves for wovens anyway. So I'm going to sew the side as well. So once I sew, I'm going to sew with a straight stitch, and then I'm going to go back with my serger. You can do your serger or a stitch, zigzag stitch or something like that to finish off the raw edges of your fabric where you sewed. Now on the back, I'm going to go in with a actually on my serger, I'm going to serge off the edge. So we're going to finish off the edge of the bodice, the back bodice, because that's where I'm going to attach my zipper and I don't want my stuff to fray. So I'm going to do that, and I'm also going to grab some interfacing later. I'm going to add some interfacing, but I'm going to sew up the skirt. When I sew up the skirt, I'm going to show you, I'm going to have the skirt meet up here at the back so I can continue this line where my zipper is going to go, because my zipper is going to go all the way down into my skirt. Okay, so I am also going to prep my sleeves, which I just cut out, and we're going to fold them right sides together, and I'm going to sew here on the outer seam. I'm really hoping the sleeves also fit, being just a size bigger. When I cut it out, I did kind of went out a little bit to go to the next size just to make sure. Once I sew this up here for the stretch stitch, I'm also going to do with the serger, and then I'm also just going to go ahead and serge the bottom edge of this, so that way it's easier to hem, because then once it's serged, I'll just fold over and hem. But if you don't like that, then you can just fold over twice and hem it like you would any woven. Now, I did not show you how I cut my skirt, but all I did is that top tier, because I'm only going to do the top tier. The reason being, I am going to do both tiers, but the reason why I'm only talking about the top tier is because the top tier is where my zipper is going to go. My zipper is not going to go any longer than this top tier. So when I'm going to attach it all together, I'm going to put the zipper and close it up, and then I'm going to attach the bottom tier just like I would regularly, because that's just going to be attached on the round. But here's my top tier. And what I did is the front, I cut just on the fold like the pattern calls for, but the back I cut mirror, just like I did the back bodice, leaving a little bit of room for seam allowance. So now instead of having 2 pieces, I've got 3 pieces. Let's see which one's the top, because I want to go ahead and place this here and sew the side, and then the center back is where I'm going to attach my zipper. So I want to go ahead and have that seam down the back for my zipper. So I'm going to sew here the sides, right sides together, and finish off after I sew them. You may have noticed that I'm not adding pocket. You definitely can add pocket with this. The pattern does come with a pocket option, and the pocket would be done just the same way that the pattern asks for. I'm just not always a pocket person. So I know, please don't be mad at me. Don't unfollow, but I don't like the bulkiness of a pocket when I'm wearing a thin dress. So being that this is a thin fabric, I just don't feel like I want to add a pocket to it. Once I sew those sides and finish off, I'm also going to go ahead and finish off the centers. That way I can prep them for the zipper, which is to come later. Now, making sure that I put my stitch back to the regular stitch length, I'm using a straight stitch on my sewing machine at a length 2.5. All right, while I'm here, I'm turning my stitch to a length 5, and I'm actually going to put in a basting stitch at the top of my skirt, of my my skirt, because I'm going to gather that to fit the bodice. So I want to go ahead and get that in there. All right, I've got my bodice here, and I can go ahead and attach sleeves, and I forgot to serge the bottom, but I can do that once I attach them. I can go ahead and attach the sleeves, that way they're ready to go. I'm gonna fit them into my bodice here and match them right sides together here at the armpit seam, and then the top and all the way around, and they should fit nicely. I have a mark here where the top is, and I'm gonna do that for both. Remember that when you sew these on, you also want to finish the raw edges with your serger or a zigzag stitch on your sewing machine. If your sleeve is a little bit too big for your bodice, not to worry. You're just going to put in a basting stitch around the top of the sleeve. And I'm just saying this for some patterns too. Like this one fits really nicely on here, pretty good. But if you have some that are a little bit bigger, you're going to have to put in a little bit of a basting stitch at the top of the sleeve and then make sure that it just ease it in. That's what you need to be doing with your woven sleeves. All right, so here's my bodice, and I'm going to mark my center front. So I'm going to grab the sides and go to the center front because I'm going to want to gather my skirt to fit. Now, usually we would have, this would be all together close up here and you would attach the skirt. But because I'm going to add the zipper here down the back, I made sure that my skirt is in 2 pieces as well. Oh, I put in the gathering stitch at the wrong end. This is the back, this is the top. I put it in at the bottom. Not needed. So I'm going to have to go back and put in a gathering stitch here at the top. But we're going to gather, the bodice is going to get, the skirt is going to get gathered to fit the bodice. And we're going to attach it here to have this opening down the back. So the front will be all attached. I'm going to go and put in another gathering stitch here at the top on the right side, the top side. And then I'm going to gather the gathering stitch to fit this bodice. And then we're going to attach it right sides together and sew it. All right, now I have the right area gathered. Let me make sure, because I already gathered the bottom. I don't want to get confused. Yes, this is the top. Okay. And so what I am going to do also for the top is I'm going to mark my half here at the front. That way I know exactly where I'm matching up. And then I'm going to gather by pulling my basting stitch and gather it to fit. And I'm going to attach the bodice to the skirt to the bodice, right sides together. Now I will say that once I'm done sewing this up, before I move on to attaching that zipper and finishing the neckline and attaching the second tier, I'm gonna try this on. I'm gonna try it on. I'm gonna clip the back and try it on and make sure that it fits and it's gonna look good, because I don't wanna go through all the trouble of putting in a zipper and then realizing, oh goodness, I did not do this right. So I'm going to go ahead and attach the sleeve and attach this center seam, and then I'm going to just clip the back with my clips and try it on, and we'll talk about what it looks like and what is the next step. This is shaping up to be super adorable. It fits very comfortably. I don't have any issues. Again, I'm using a very light woven, so it's not like a heavy cotton. It's just a very light woven, light cotton. It is a cotton fabric, but it's very light. I'm gonna try to look up and see if I can find exactly what kind of fabric this is. But it's more like it's got some rayon, so it's more silky. It's not super tight. It's not constricting. I will say though that next time I do this hack, I might go ahead and grab my sleeve and make the arm side, like the area up here, a little bit bigger, the cap a little bit bigger, because it does sit kind of flat, which gives me a couple of wrinkles here in this area. So if I make this area here a little bit wider and bring it out a little bit more, then I can put in a gathering stitch here at the top and make it poof out more and get rid of some of these wrinkles here. But I don't have any issues here with the sides. Everything looks really good. It fits really nice. There's no wrinkles. The back obviously is just pinned together, so I need to sew it up. But it's coming along and it is looking super cute. Just a couple of tweaks like I just mentioned on the sleeve, and this will make a perfect summertime sweet, using up all those cute woven prints pattern. So we're gonna go now and we're going to do the zipper on the back. We're gonna do some binding around the neck. Then I'm gonna attach the other tier that I have over there, and that's about it. I'm so excited. All right, friends, are you all ready? Because I will admit it, I am a tad bit nervous. I'm always nervous. I don't know why. I've done zippers. I've done zippers before. But you know what? It's always nerve-wracking. All right, first thing with wovens, you want to do a lot of... One thing I don't like about wovens is that you want to do interfacing. Especially when I'm going to attach a zipper. I don't want my fabric to come apart because I didn't prep it correctly. So I'm going to be adding some interfacing here. This is 22 inches. Well, this one is not 22 inches. I got to add a little bit to it. I cut a little piece because I didn't have long enough piece of interfacing. So anyway, 22 inches of interfacing here. It's okay if there's a little bit extra. I can always take it off later. But I want to add the interfacing for reinforcement here for the zipper. And I'm adding it to both sides. Both backs. All right, this is all about confidence. It's all about confidence, baby. We got it. We got it. We got it. Okay, so we're gonna start with one side of the zipper, whichever side we want to start with. Here's my back. Here's my beautiful zipper. It's invisible. And we're going to open up our zipper a little bit. And what you can do is, sometimes it advises you to like steam the tape, the zipper coil away from the tape. That way you can get a really close fit to it. And then we're going to place it right sides together. So the front of the zipper is going to attach right sides together. There is a little bit of space here at the top, which is good because once I turn it over, I'm going to either do I'm either going to put in some binding here at the top, so it will cover up that top space, or I may just fold under and top stitch the top of the neckline. I'm not really sure what I want to do yet. So I'm going to leave a little bit of room here at the top to do that. And then I'm going to match up the zipper along the edge, right sides together here on one side. And I'm going to go all the way down the zipper area. Now you can make this zipper as long as you want. If you don't want it to be this long, you can always cut it and close it higher. It's up to you. So now I'm going to go ahead and sew that with a zipper foot. All right, I'm using my zipper foot for this next step. And I'm just using a straight stitch on my sewing machine. And I'm going to come really close to that coil as I sew it on. So I'm coming right along the edge of that coil here. I'm just kind of pushing that coil open so that way I can come right along the edge. All right, Now I've got my one side zipper done on my one side. So now I've got to do the other side. So for the other side, we're coming around and we're also facing it. So see, here's the front of my zipper. So this is the front. So we want the front to be touching the back. So it's going to go like this. So you're basically flipping it over. Sometimes I like to go ahead and kind of zip it up and turn my dress like this to the wrong side. Here's the front of my zipper like this. So when I bring it up like this, you can see here that this is my right side of my zipper. My zipper coil here is the right side. Okay, I want to make sure that I match up. Here's my seam. Make sure that seam matches here, and it's going to match up here at the top. So you want to make sure that it's all matching. You don't want, see how I didn't start right at the top? Okay, so you don't want it to be unmatched and wiggly once you sew it on. You want it to match in the back. So sometimes I like to bring it over here and then I will pull the zipper open up. It's just easier to sew with an open zipper, but at least I can kind of make sure that it's all going to be even. You want your zipper to be even. Sometimes I will go ahead and baste my zipper first, which is just a long straight stitch on my sewing machine. Yeah, and then once it's basted on, I will zip up the zipper and make sure that it's all even and it matches and everything. And then I'll go back with my regular stitch and make sure that I sew it on correctly. Especially, like I said, with this woven fabric, it's so light that you may want to do that so it's not like ending up wiggly and not matching up. So see, you want to make sure that they are going to match up when you finish here at the end. And everything's gonna look good. Okay, all the way down. And I can actually zip it up with my pins there, clips there, hopefully. See if it'll stay. Yeah, no, it won't do it with my clips there. Oh yeah, I will. Make sure that it's even and it looks good. Okay, so now I can go ahead and sew it on. I'm gonna go sew that other side. All right, my zipper is done, as you can see. Very good. I'm gonna have to steam it. I'll steam that a little bit later. Now we gotta figure out what we wanna do with the neckline. There's a couple of things. I did leave enough room here at the top that I can just serge it all the way around and then fold it down and just top stitch it, which I've done that to necklines before, and I actually don't mind doing that. You can also bind it, and hold on one second. I have this and this. Either one would be great. This one would be really nice because it's a brighter color, so it would bring out those brighter color flowers. So we could bind it. I don't know, but binding, I don't know if it might look too kiddish if I bind it. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna fold over and top stitch, and you all tell me in the comments what you think, if I should bind it, because after I fold over and top stitch, I really could just attach the binding afterwards. It wouldn't be very hard to do, being that all I would have to do is attach the binding here, right sides, the right side of the binding over and top stitch that first part, and then we would fold this over on top of it and cover it all up and binding all the way around. And you tell me what you think I should do. Comment below and let me know. But for now, I'm going to serge the top edge. Then I'm going to fold it down and top stitch all the way around. And I'm going to do the same for the sleeves. I'm going to serge all the sleeves because I didn't do that yet. And then I'll fold it, top stitch all the way around to hem the sleeve. For the bottom, okay, so here at the bottom where we finished off the zipper, what we're going to do is we're going to match up our bottom of our dress, right sides together. And my zipper is going to just poke out here, and we're going to sew this together. So We're gonna start here where we finished sewing up the zipper, and we're gonna go all the way down. So kind of trap the zipper in here. And then we can top stitch it and trim it. I'll come up from the front and top stitch it here a little bit. That way my zipper is not gonna fly off. Okay, and then at the bottom of this, we can go ahead and attach the other skirt. So I'm gonna get that prepped. Now, I did the longer length on the bodice because I wanted to be kind of midi style. I didn't have enough. I kind of wanted it to be maxi really, but I didn't have enough fabric for a maxi, so it's a midi style. So we're just gonna go and sew up those sides, right sides together here, and then finish off the raw edge. I'll finish up the bottom edge too so that we can hem it later. And then I'll put in a basting stitch at the top because we're going to gather this to fit the bottom of the dress. And we're almost done. It's coming along. I'm excited. Are you excited? Comment below and let me know what you think. If this is going to work out or not. And if it's something you want to try or you're like, oh, I don't know if I want to try that. Let's do it. Okay. Here I'm starting where I left off, pushing that zipper out so it doesn't get caught weird, and closing that bottom. Okay, we're coming along. I'm so excited. Okay, we've got our back already marked, so we got to mark our front. Here's our front right here. Just gonna do a little notch. I like the little notches. And then we're gonna grab our bottom. Oh my gosh, I am so excited about this. I've been, like I said earlier, I've been wanting to do this hack forever, and I just hadn't. So now I'm excited because I did it. Okay, oh, I did not put the gathering stitch here yet. So let me go ahead and go put that gathering stitch here, mark my front and back so that way I have them marked and I don't lose them. And then I'll come back real quick. We'll attach this and we'll hem all the hems and we'll be done. All right, now I'm gonna pull in that basting stitch and gather it the width of our skirt bottom. There's my half right there. So that's gathered that width, making sure. Where is my front? Here it is. So you want to make sure that it's gathered the same width. And then I do the same thing going the other way. What is your favorite method of gathering? So if I'm doing something light like this, it's not a ton of gatherings, I do like to just do a basting stitch because it's just quick and easy. Especially this fabric is so nice and thin and it's just kind of does whatever you ask it to do. But if I'm doing something that's more involved, longer, I like to do a clear elastic gathering method, which we do have a video on that here on our channel if you want to check it out. I also like the double stitching if it's thicker fabric, so 2 stitches of basting. There are so many different ways to gather, and they're all good. Which one is your favorite? So now I'm just attaching this right sides together to the skirt of the bottom of the skirt of the dress, and then we will sew it up together. All right, since I serged the bottom, a hem is just really, I'm just gonna fold over and top stitch. And I'm gonna do the same for the sleeve and the neckline. All right, I do want you to comment below and let me know what you think about the neckline. If I should go ahead and bind it, or if you think that this fold over is better. I don't know. I'm concerned that if I bind it, it might end up looking too childish. And I don't want it to look too childish. Ow! Just burned myself. So I'm just folding that over the zipper and just folding it down. Another option, like I said earlier, is to do the facing. And we do have a video here where I show how to do facing for, I'm trying to remember what pattern it was, but I do have hacks on how to do facing. So you could create a facing for this dress, and that would also be another way that you wouldn't have to have the top stitching here at the front if you didn't want to have the top stitching either. All right, friends, we are finished. I think this turned out super, super good. Look at this. Full range of motion, no ripping, no tearing. Woo, woo. I can dance, I can move, I can do everything. I love how this turned out. I'm definitely making more of these because it looks so cute and it is very, very comfy. I think in a linen. Yes. Okay. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Please comment, like, share, subscribe if you haven't. I hope this gives you the courage to just do it. Jump in and sew and create what you want to create. Manipulate your patterns to create that perfect pattern for you. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you all next time.